Life will test you. It will throw challenges in your path: failure, rejection, loss, and struggle. Most people see these as reasons to stop, to complain, to make excuses, but not you. You are not like most people. The Obstacle is the Way is a book for those who refuse to be defeated. It is for those who see problems not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. The greatest leaders, thinkers, and warriors in history understood this. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while facing war and disease. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Every great success story is built on obstacles, not by avoiding them, but by using them. This book will teach you the mindset that turns hardship into opportunity. It is based on Stoic philosophy, the ancient wisdom that shaped some of history's strongest minds. You will learn how to stay calm under pressure, how to turn setbacks into advantages, and how to keep moving forward when others would quit. If you are looking for comfort, this book is not for you. But if you are ready to face life head on, to grow stronger with every challenge, and to become truly unstoppable, then this is your guide. The obstacle is not in your way. The obstacle is the way. Part 1: Perception. The way we perceive the world around us plays a major role in shaping our lives. Our perspective on obstacles often determines whether they become roadblocks or stepping stones. Too often, we let difficulties overwhelm us, believing they are insurmountable. But obstacles aren't inherently negative. It's how we perceive them that determines if they break us or push us to grow. When facing a challenge, it's not the obstacle itself that holds us back, but our interpretation of it. This insight reveals that a challenge, seen from the right angle, can be an opportunity for growth, a chance to learn, and a catalyst for change. Shifting our perspective is the first step toward overcoming any difficulty. When we train ourselves to see obstacles clearly and without bias, we unlock the potential to grow stronger and wiser with each experience. A powerful realization in life is that we always control how we respond to challenges. This insight is transformative because it means we are never at the mercy of circumstances. Regardless of how difficult a situation is, we have the power to choose our response. External events, people, or situations may be beyond our control, but how we react is always in our hands. Understanding this power is liberating. It shifts us from being passive observers to active participants in our lives. This internal shift is key to overcoming adversity. When we take charge of our reactions, we stop feeling like victims and begin seeing ourselves as agents of change, ready to face anything that comes our way. In every challenge, there is the potential to be defeated or to rise stronger, and recognizing this power is the first step toward becoming more resilient. When adversity strikes, it's natural for our nerves to shake. Fear, anxiety, and stress can cloud our judgment, making it difficult to think clearly. However, the ability to steady our nerves in stressful situations is a skill that can be developed. Staying calm doesn't mean ignoring the stress or pretending it isn't there. It means facing the challenge with composure and clarity. It's about staying grounded in the present moment and taking thoughtful action instead of letting panic control our response. When we remain composed in tough situations, we regain the ability to think, assess, and act based on reason rather than emotion. Calmness in the face of adversity becomes a superpower, allowing us to remain focused and effective even under pressure. True strength lies not in avoiding stress, but in mastering it. Emotions are powerful, but if left unchecked, they can cloud our perception and lead us to make decisions that are driven by fear, anger, or frustration. It's easy to let emotions take control when facing obstacles, but learning to control them is crucial for success. Control doesn't mean suppressing emotions or pretending they don't exist. Rather, it's about understanding our emotional responses and choosing how we act despite them. Emotional control enables us to make decisions based on facts and reason, rather than being driven by impulsive feelings. It allows us to take a step back, pause, and consider the situation without letting our emotions dictate our behavior. By mastering emotional control, we stop being reactive and start becoming more deliberate in our actions. This emotional discipline is what enables us to move through life's challenges with grace and wisdom, no matter how difficult the situation may seem. Practicing objectivity is one of the most important tools we can use to navigate life's obstacles. When faced with challenges, it's easy to become emotionally attached to the situation, allowing personal bias and preconceived notions to cloud our judgment. But objectivity allows us to look at the situation from a neutral standpoint, free from emotional interference. This helps us to see the facts clearly and make better decisions. Objectivity isn't about detaching ourselves completely from our emotions. Rather, it's about recognizing them and ensuring they don't overwhelm our ability to think critically. When we practice objectivity, we remove the emotional fog that can distort our perception and replace it with clarity. This clarity allows us to view obstacles not as personal attacks or injustices, but as neutral events that can be dealt with strategically. With objectivity, we move from reacting impulsively to acting with purpose and foresight. It's through this lens that we can clearly assess any challenge and determine the best course of action to overcome it. By learning to see things for what they truly are, without distortion, we unlock a powerful ability to navigate life's obstacles with strength and resilience. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to grow stronger, more capable, and more confident in our ability to handle whatever life throws our way. Perception, at its core, shapes everything: how we experience obstacles, how we respond to them, and ultimately how we succeed in overcoming them. With the right perception, obstacles become the very path to greatness. To alter your perspective is to recognize that how you see a situation greatly affects your ability to handle it. Every obstacle can be viewed through different lenses, and by changing the way you look at things, you change how you respond. A challenge doesn't have to be a setback. It can be a chance to learn, grow, and improve. By consciously shifting your perspective, you take control of the situation, allowing you to approach problems with a clear mind and open heart. This shift in perspective doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties you face, but instead finding a way to see them in a way that empowers you rather than diminishes you. One of the most liberating realizations in life is understanding what is truly within your control. Many times we focus on external circumstances, blaming the world around us for our struggles. However, much of life is shaped by our response to those circumstances, not the circumstances themselves. Realizing that it's not the world that dictates our fate, but our reaction to it, allows us to reclaim our power. The question becomes not whether the obstacle is fair or unjust, but rather, how can I respond? By recognizing that much of what happens is up to us, we can approach each challenge with a sense of ownership and agency, which makes all the difference in overcoming it. Living in the present moment is essential to overcoming obstacles because it allows us to focus on what we can control. Too often, we become overwhelmed by worries about the past or the future, allowing those thoughts to cloud our judgment and impede our progress. The present moment is all we truly have, and in it lies the power to take action. When we focus on the now, we free ourselves from the burden of past mistakes or future fears, enabling us to make clear and effective decisions. Living in the present is about staying engaged with what's right in front of you, and in doing so, you unlock the ability to tackle challenges head on with full attention and intention. Thinking differently is a powerful tool for overcoming obstacles. Often we approach problems with the same mindset that got us into them in the first place. To break free from this cycle, we must challenge our assumptions and think in new ways. Thinking differently is about stepping outside the box and looking at the problem from various angles. It's about being creative and open-minded, refusing to settle for the first solution that comes to mind. When we change our thinking, we often discover new opportunities and innovative ways to solve problems that we hadn't considered before. Finding the opportunity within every obstacle is one of the most crucial practices for personal growth. It's easy to get bogged down by the difficulty of a situation, but every challenge contains an opportunity to grow, learn, or adapt. Whether it's acquiring new skills, developing greater resilience, or learning from our mistakes, obstacles often provide the seeds for our future success. By actively seeking out these opportunities, we train ourselves to see beyond the surface and uncover the hidden lessons in every situation. The key is to approach every challenge with curiosity, eager to discover what can be learned and how we can improve. Preparing to act is the final step in overcoming any obstacle. Once you've shifted your perspective, recognized what's within your control, lived in the present, thought differently, and identified the opportunities, the next step is to take action. Preparation means not only having a clear understanding of the situation, but also being ready to act decisively when the time comes. It's about building the mental and emotional strength to follow through and make the most of the opportunities that present themselves. The process of preparation ensures that when the moment to act arises, you are ready to move forward with confidence and purpose, taking full advantage of the opportunities to achieve your goals. Part 2. Action. The discipline of action is the true test of character and determination. It's one thing to talk about our goals, to think about the obstacles ahead, but it's entirely different to actually take the first step toward overcoming them. Action is the force that transforms plans into results. Without it, all the strategies, ideas, and intentions are just words. To truly overcome any obstacle, we must act. It's easy to get caught in analysis, overthinking the challenges, but the moment we decide to act, we set the wheels of change in motion. Each step we take, no matter how small, starts to build momentum. Action isn't just about moving forward, it's about making progress, one decision at a time. Inaction, on the other hand, breeds frustration, stagnation, and regret. By taking action, we take control of the situation, choosing to shape our own fate instead of waiting for circumstances to dictate it. At times, the hardest part isn't the challenge itself, but the internal hesitation to begin. The fear of failure, uncertainty, or imperfection often holds us back. But the truth is, nothing ever starts without movement. When faced with an obstacle, it's easy to become paralyzed by the fear of making a mistake or choosing the wrong path. But success is never born from hesitation. It's born from movement. Getting moving is about ignoring the mental barriers that try to hold us in place and simply starting. You don't need all the answers right away, and you don't need to know exactly how things will unfold. You just need to get started. The longer we delay, the more we allow fear to take root. But once we begin, no matter how small the action is, we shift from being stuck to being in motion. Each step forward, even a tiny one, creates momentum and clears the way for the next one. Persistence is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. It's not enough to take one action and hope for a miracle. It's about showing up day after day, even when the path is difficult and the progress seems slow. Life will inevitably throw challenges our way and obstacles will appear, but it's in those moments that persistence becomes our greatest asset. It's easy to give up when things don't go as planned or when the results are not immediate, but true strength lies in the ability to continue moving forward despite setbacks. Persistence is about having the patience to keep pushing when progress seems slow or non existent. It's about accepting that failure is part of the process, but quitting is never an option. The people who make the biggest impact in life are not those who avoid failure, but those who keep going in spite of it. Persistence is the key to breaking through, to finding success after repeated attempts and overcoming every obstacle that stands in the way. Iteration is essential to progress. No one ever gets it right the first time. Life is full of trial and error, and that's perfectly okay. When we face obstacles, we often fail to realize that failure is not an end, but simply part of the process. Every failed attempt is a lesson learned, a step toward finding the right solution. Iterating is the act of continuing to refine, adjust, and improve. The first time we try something may not yield the desired results, but that's where growth happens. Through each failed attempt, we learn what works and what doesn't. Success is rarely a straight line, and the willingness to iterate is what makes the difference between those who succeed and those who fall short. It's about being adaptable, not getting discouraged, and understanding that each failure is a part of the journey toward the final breakthrough. Through consistent iteration, we evolve, learn, and eventually find the path that leads us to success. Following the process is often the most difficult thing to do, especially when immediate results aren't visible. But the process is what ultimately leads to success. Success is rarely instantaneous. It is a series of deliberate steps, often taken with little immediate reward. When we face obstacles, it's easy to become impatient and want instant results. But the true value lies in the process itself. By trusting the process, we put in the work day after day, knowing that the outcome will come in time. The process isn't always glamorous, and it often requires sacrifice, hard work, and patience. But it's the steady, consistent actions over time that lead to real, lasting change. The process is what turns a goal into reality, and by staying committed to it, we build the resilience and strength needed to overcome any obstacle in our way. Trusting the process means having faith in the long-term picture, even when the immediate results are unclear. It's about staying the course, knowing that persistence and dedication will eventually pay off. Doing your job and doing it right is about taking pride in the work you do, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. When obstacles arise, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the bigger picture or distracted by the challenges. However, the key to moving past them is to focus on the task at hand, committing yourself to doing it to the best of your ability. Whether you're facing a major challenge or a small task, doing your job right means approaching it with care, attention to detail, and a sense of responsibility. Excellence in every action you take, no matter how minor it may seem, builds a foundation of trust in your abilities. When you focus on doing your job to the best of your ability, you don't just overcome the obstacle, you set yourself up for long term success. Doing your job right means showing up, taking ownership, and ensuring that every action contributes toward your goal, making it that much easier to move forward. It's about building a reputation of integrity and discipline, one step at a time. Every task completed with excellence brings you closer to the success you seek. Through disciplined action, whether it's taking that first step, persisting through failure, iterating until you succeed, following the process, or doing your job right, you are building the foundation for success. Action is not just about doing, it's about doing with intention, consistency, and commitment. The obstacles you face become stepping stones, not barriers, when you take deliberate action toward overcoming them. The key to success lies not in waiting for the right moment or perfect conditions, but in acting with purpose and determination no matter what. The journey to overcoming obstacles begins with a single action, and that action, when taken consistently and with persistence, leads to transformation and achievement. When facing obstacles, the ultimate truth is that what's right is not necessarily what others tell us is right, but rather what works. Success doesn't follow a strict formula, and each situation may require a unique solution. The rigidity of sticking to conventional methods often limits our ability to find innovative approaches. What truly matters is assessing what actually moves us closer to our goal, even if it's unconventional. The key is to adapt, to be flexible, and to constantly check what's working in the moment. It's not about being right in a traditional sense, but about finding what creates real, tangible results. When we focus on effectiveness over correctness, we open ourselves up to creative solutions and deeper breakthroughs. Flexibility and an open mind are crucial because they allow us to break free from constraints and pursue what will ultimately move us forward. Sometimes confronting an obstacle head on doesn't always lead to the best outcome. A more effective approach can be the flank attack, an indirect, strategic maneuver that catches the obstacle by surprise. Rather than directly confronting the challenge with force, the flank attack involves thinking creatively and looking for alternative routes or solutions. By not directly engaging the obstacle, you sidestep the most difficult aspects while still achieving your objective. This approach requires patience, ingenuity, and strategic thinking, but it can provide an unexpected edge. Rather than fighting battles that may seem impossible, you choose to maneuver around them using intelligence and resourcefulness to overcome challenges. This method teaches us that obstacles don't always require brute force. Sometimes the best approach is subtlety and clever strategy. Instead of viewing obstacles as pure roadblocks, they can actually be used to our advantage. When we shift our mindset and understand the nature of the obstacle, we can often find ways to turn it into a resource. It's about flipping the situation on its head, recognizing that the challenge itself may hold the key to solving the problem. Just as an opponent in battle might exploit our weaknesses, we can use the very nature of an obstacle to propel us forward. For example, a lack of resources can force us to be more creative and resourceful, while a difficult competitor can push us to innovate. Every obstacle presents an opportunity to learn and grow, and by reframing it as a tool for progress, we transform the challenge into something that moves us closer to our goals. This shift in perspective turns obstacles from barriers into stepping stones. Energy is a powerful tool in overcoming obstacles, but it's important to manage it effectively. Often, people waste energy by becoming frustrated, anxious, or distracted, which only drains their motivation. Instead, we must learn to channel our energy productively. This means focusing on actions that move us forward rather than letting negative emotions control us. When we face challenges, it's natural to feel anger or fear, but these emotions can be harnessed as fuel for determination. By redirecting our energy toward productive actions, we move closer to overcoming the obstacle instead of being paralyzed by our emotions. Channeling energy into persistence, creativity, and hard work transforms our emotional and mental resources into a force that drives us forward, turning adversity into opportunity. When faced with challenges, it's tempting to take a defensive stance, trying to protect ourselves or just survive the situation. However, to truly overcome obstacles, we must seize the offensive. Instead of passively waiting for circumstances to change, we take control of the situation and actively work toward our goals. Seizing the offensive means being proactive rather than reactive, creating opportunities instead of waiting for them. This mindset forces us to stop being passive observers in our own lives and instead become the ones who initiate change. When we decide to drive the situation forward, we create our own momentum and assert control over the outcome. It's about taking the reins and refusing to let obstacles dictate the direction of our progress. One of the hardest truths to accept is that not everything will work out as planned. Obstacles are unpredictable, and no matter how well we prepare, things may not go according to our expectations. Preparing for none of it to work means embracing the possibility of failure without letting it stop us. It's about building mental resilience, knowing that setbacks are a natural part of the process, not the end. By expecting things to go wrong, we give ourselves the freedom to adapt and adjust our approach without becoming discouraged. Failure isn't a defeat, it's simply part of the journey toward success. With this mindset, we stay flexible and open to change, never losing momentum even when things don't unfold as we hoped. The more we accept that things may not work, the better we become at navigating challenges and maintaining progress. Part 3. Will. The discipline of the will is what holds everything together when external circumstances begin to waver. It's the force that pushes us forward despite challenges, setbacks, and failures. While perception and action are critical in facing obstacles, willpower is what sustains us in the long run. It's what helps us endure when things seem impossible and forces us to continue even when we feel like giving up. The strength of the will isn't about pushing through at all costs, but about building resilience, mental toughness, and the inner strength needed to persist. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, you have the power to choose your response and to keep moving forward. This discipline is what enables us to take action when everything seems stacked against us, ensuring that we don't just survive our challenges, but grow stronger through them. Building your inner citadel is about creating an unshakable foundation within yourself. It's about fortifying your mind, emotions, and spirit so that external events don't have the power to control or defeat you. The inner citadel is a place of calm, confidence, and clarity where you can retreat when the world becomes overwhelming. It's built on the understanding that life will throw obstacles your way, but your response to those obstacles is always within your control. The citadel is a space where your will can remain strong, regardless of the chaos outside. It involves cultivating mental toughness and emotional resilience so that no matter what happens in the external world, you can stay focused, composed, and grounded. The more you strengthen your inner citadel, the less vulnerable you become to the things that might otherwise shake your confidence or deter you from your purpose. Anticipation, or thinking negatively, is about preparing yourself mentally and emotionally for the inevitable challenges ahead. It's not about pessimism or expecting the worst, but about accepting that difficulties are part of life and being ready for them. By anticipating obstacles before they arrive, you mentally prepare yourself to handle them with calmness when they do occur. Thinking negatively means facing the reality of potential hardships without being overwhelmed by them. When you anticipate difficulties, you can approach them with a focused mind, knowing you've already prepared. It's about building resilience by expecting resistance, so when it comes, you're not surprised or discouraged. Anticipation teaches us not to be shaken by the unexpected, but to meet it with strength, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen our will. The art of acquiescence is learning to accept things as they are. It's not about giving up or resigning yourself to defeat, but about letting go of the need to control everything. Often we find ourselves frustrated by things we cannot change, whether they are external circumstances, other people's actions, or situations beyond our control. Acquiescence is the ability to accept those things without resistance, to move with the flow of life instead of fighting against it. By accepting what we cannot change, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and frustration, enabling us to focus on what we can control. It's about developing a mindset of calm acceptance, where we embrace challenges, setbacks, and obstacles as part of the process. Acquiescence isn't about surrendering. It's about understanding that not everything is within our control and learning to find peace in that truth. Amor fati, or love of fate, is the profound practice of embracing everything that happens in life, good or bad, as part of the journey. It's about loving every moment, every obstacle, and every setback because they are all essential to your growth. This mindset shifts the way we view adversity. Instead of seeing challenges as something to avoid or overcome, we begin to see them as opportunities to learn, evolve, and become stronger. Amor fati is the realization that every event, no matter how difficult or painful, is a necessary part of our personal evolution. It's about loving life in its entirety, not just the pleasant parts, but the hardships as well. This practice empowers us to take full responsibility for our lives and accept everything that comes our way with open arms. Loving fate means embracing the full spectrum of experience, trusting that everything, whether good or bad, is part of the process that leads us to where we need to go. Perseverance is the unwavering commitment to continue despite obstacles, setbacks, or failure. It is the inner strength that keeps you moving forward even when the path is unclear or the rewards seem distant. Perseverance is more than just persistence. It's about maintaining a determined focus on the long-term goal, refusing to be deterred by temporary difficulties. When things get tough, perseverance is what allows us to push through, to keep going even when we want to quit. It's the realization that progress isn't always linear, and sometimes the most significant growth comes during the most challenging moments. Those who persist are often the ones who succeed, not because they are the most talented or fortunate, but because they didn't give up when others did. Perseverance is about resilience, the ability to recover quickly from adversity, and to keep moving forward no matter the obstacles. Having something bigger than yourself to focus on gives you purpose and meaning beyond personal gain. It's a mission, vision, or cause that transcends individual success and serves the greater good. When you dedicate yourself to something larger, it provides a deeper sense of motivation and fulfillment. It helps you stay grounded and focused, especially when the inevitable challenges arise. The commitment to a cause beyond yourself allows you to push past personal discomfort and obstacles. It turns struggles into opportunities to serve something meaningful, reminding you why you started in the first place. Whether it's a family, community, organization, or a greater societal goal, having this larger purpose gives your actions weight and significance. It's not just about achieving your own success, but about contributing to the world in a way that outlasts you. When you are connected to something greater than yourself, setbacks become mere stepping stones in a much larger journey. Meditating on your mortality may seem morbid, but it is a powerful practice for prioritizing what really matters. Life is finite, and remembering this fact helps you avoid wasting time on trivial concerns. By acknowledging your own mortality, you develop a sense of urgency to focus on what truly matters and pursue meaningful goals. This meditation forces you to reflect on the impermanence of life and helps you make better decisions based on the knowledge that time is limited. It can inspire you to act with purpose, knowing that each moment is valuable. This doesn't mean living in constant fear of death, but rather living with an awareness that pushes you to make the most out of every day. When you understand the fleeting nature of life, it propels you to take more risks, embrace challenges, and move forward with a sense of urgency and gratitude for the time you have. The idea of preparing to start again might seem daunting, but it's essential to embrace the fact that failure and setbacks are part of the journey. Starting over doesn't mean you've lost. It means you're flexible enough to adapt to new circumstances. Every ending is an opportunity to begin again with fresh perspective, energy, and insights. Life often requires us to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and try again. The ability to start over is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. It's not about avoiding failure, but about being willing to begin again with all the lessons learned, knowing that growth comes from persistence, not perfection. When things fall apart, the willingness to start over with a renewed mindset becomes a source of strength. Starting again is not a sign of defeat, but a testament to your ability to adapt, evolve, and continue the pursuit of your goals, no matter how many times you need to begin again. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment, and subscribe so you never miss out on upcoming content. I can't wait to hear your thoughts and bring you more awesome videos soon.